Okay, Ravinder, so let's have a look at the task 1, which went with that one. So we've got 3 bar charts and we're comparing. So remember, you don't need to tell me what's going on, but you do need to group information and compare it. Just keep thinking in your head, group and compare, group and compare. So the bar charts show recycling percentage of glass, paper and plastics in 2 countries, and the same for the whole world. Good, overall good. It's clear that paper is the most recycled product, whereas it's the least in Madrid. Barcelona is able to recycle the highest percentage of plastic as compared to Madrid and worldwide. Good, lovely. Overall, absolutely perfect. We don't need numbers in here, and you haven't done that. Just small p on the plastic. Okay. In detail, in the whole world, 54% of paper is recycled, while the percentage is below than half for. Is not below than half, but less than half. You could be below 50%, an actual number, but less than half for these, yes. Whereas glass is most recycled. Just need a little verb there. Most recycled in Barcelona, yep, at 55. Almost the same as paper around the globe. Paper around the globe, nice grouping. Followed by Madrid. Now, so I'm taking out this bit because that's the relative clause. So whereas glass is most recycled, you can't go into this followed by Madrid. You have to have a new subject. It is. Numbers are significantly less in Madrid. Now, if you want to do followed by, you just have to do glass, not start with whereas. It's because you started with whereas, which is fantastic. If you went glass is most recycled, followed by, that's fine. But because you started with whereas, you need to change the structure. So whereas glass is the most, you're contrasting. Numbers are less in Madrid. And the least, watch out here, it's a superlative, the least in other places. Okay, you're really pushing the structure, which is fantastic, but make sure we're really correct, especially on that. This you would get away with because it's a big structure. This you wouldn't. The least is a superlative, and you want to get that right. Sorry, let's get it. Just underline it or something. There we go. In Madrid, 40% of plastics have been recycled. No, just are. We've got no date on here as far as I can spot, so just keep on the present. Are recycled, which is the highest proportion as compared to other 2 products in Barcelona. Do you mean and Barcelona or in Barcelona and worldwide? Barcelona recycles half its plastics. Yes, I mean, that's a really, really good answer. Be careful for little mistakes. You don't want to lose any marks on this one. Yeah, too many little mistakes on grammar would go for a 6, which would pull you down. Remember, when they're grading it, they're grading 7, 6. They're not grading 6.5. There isn't a 6.5. 6.5 is a result of the averages. So when they're grading your grammar or your vocab, it's 7 or 6. So you don't want to make mistakes on this one. But that is a very, very good answer. Very clear. Lots of information you have grouped and you have compared. So well done. Let's get into the next task 2. So university students nowadays seem to have too much freedom and do not study enough. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Okay, explain your opinion and using reasons. This is brilliant. Make sure you've done this very neatly. It's obviously taking you time. Even in the exam, even if you're writing in pen, just do this. Just write some notes. Enroll university, peer pressure, bad habits. Yeah, just write a couple of words because that will make sure you're on track, and you are on track here, which is great. Universities are meant to provide high-level professional education in an independent environment. There might be some people who take disadvantage of this freedom. You can't take disadvantage. You could abuse freedom. You take advantage of only. You can't take disadvantage. I love the idea. But you would say who abuse this freedom. And get distracted. Okay, remember, we don't like that word. Become distracted. So remember, we don't have get anymore. You can hear, before we had obtain, Here you could have become distracted. However, I believe that mature students always keep themselves determined, keep themselves... you can't keep determined. You can keep motivated. Always keep motivated. You remain determined towards their goal, but that wouldn't work. You keep motivated towards their goal, comma, despite the surroundings. Are meant to, I would be designed to, or have been designed. Meant to suggests that they don't. Designed to is more like the purpose. Otherwise, absolutely lovely, very good. So I'd go motivated here. The assessor will use examples to prove. Okay, good, very nice, well done, clear intro. Nowadays, universities provide settlings to their students with less supervision by teachers and parents than ever before, in order to make them more self-dependent. Now, provide settings. Okay. Settings, maybe go to the context, the learning and living context, because the learning is independent, but also living, like in flats or studios or whatever they're doing. So I'd be more specific here. The learning and living context. Provide the learning and living in context to their students with less supervision by teachers than ever before, in order to make them more self-dependent. Yes, or just independent. When youngsters, careful with youngsters, I go students. Youngsters is really, for me, under 8. Yeah, when students come in contact with a peer group in such lenient surroundings, there are possibilities that they might indulge in bad behaviour, only singular, and may not study enough. This could be also true. So this could also be true. The adverb has to split that. This could also be true for children raised by strict parents. Again, young adults. So make sure we know what age we're talking about. Raised by strict parents who enjoy their freedom when they move away for studies rather than focusing on study. Yeah, you might have over-enjoy. Who over-enjoy their freedom. Yeah. For example, 50% of students started taking drugs in their first year and 35% of them failed in their exams. Perfect example, absolutely matches up. Very, very good writing there. Okay. Come in contact with a peer group. Yeah. You come into contact with, or into strictly. In or into, but the preposition is with. That's important to remember. Okay. However, there are many students, no capital, who come to universities. We can improve on that. So every time you're writing a little word like get, come, go, upgrade on that. Who? Enter universities. So if I have enter, I don't need to. Enter universities to achieve success in their life. Absolutely. They keep their target on their education to pay back the hard-earned fees paid by their parents or by themselves. Okay. They keep their focused target, or target and focus, if we can just add a bit of language, on their education. Moreover, it's well known, good, that university curriculums, no capital, are very hard these days, and nobody could progress in this major without being. Yeah? So if he were not, so it's unusual grammar, it's a kind of mixed conditional this, if he were not diligent, but easier without being diligent. For example, a study by Oxford revealed that 85% engineering students who graduated, past tense, watch out, from uni studied for 15 hours a day. Good. This proves that pupils who have dedication and particular goals who have dedication and particular goals to attain the most use of their time for study. Now, watch out on the structure here, because you've put who. If you didn't have that, you'd be okay. But that has put you into a relative clause. Students who have dedication and particular goals to attain them, the goals, use most of their time for study. Pupils, so this is in bracket, in commas, because this is a relative clause. Your main sentence is this: pupils use most of their time for study. But you've done a sub-clause, a relative clause, non-defining, which is great. Who have dedication and particular goals use most of their time. So it's because you put that who there that you need to watch out. say to yourself, where's my verb? So that's your subject, but this is your verb. And it's hard to distract them, okay? I'm just going to put that in red so you super understand that. Do it, it's lovely, but make sure you are happy with what's happening here. In conclusion, I believe that the student's attitude plays an important role in being focused on study. Some universities impose fewer restriction, yep, but it depends on students and how they interact. Absolutely fantastic. For me, you are making so many improvements. Honestly, the past week you've been amazing, yeah? But make sure you're not making little grammar errors, because essentially you are writing on band 7. You've been writing on band 7 for a while. This is getting better and better. But go through this really carefully. Don't write any more today, yeah? But just use your time to go back on some of our corrections and think of the grammar. The structure's fine. The vocab's amazing. What is possibly might get you is little mistakes like this, yeah? That might get you. That's the only thing I can see, okay? All right, super good. One more to go.